Welcome to the MVP podcast, where we talk about anything NBA. I'm Sam Holcroft alongside Geigh Zollicoffer. Before we begin, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Momentum MVP, follow our Facebook page at MVP Momentum Podcast, and check us out on YouTube at MVP Momentum Podcast. Today we're going to do a recap and kind of reaction to the in-season tournament that just took place. So, Geigh, go ahead and gloat. The Los Angeles Lakers won the in-season tournament, beating the Pacers in December. Go ahead. Say that you knew all along. Go ahead. Raise the banner, right?
No raising the banner. Just
No.
a warning signal. Warning shot. Warning shot to the rest of the league. That's what that is.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that if Kobe was here, he'd be like, why are we celebrating?
I mean, they're celebrating because they just made
yet.
they got a lot of money. But, other than that, they know. Even Anthony Davis is quoted saying he knows it's not the real thing. But the money's nice.
I would say, the biggest thing for this is, if there is a team that needed that confidence boost, I feel like it is the Lakers. I mean, not maybe the team, but a team that would definitely need it, especially getting swept by the Nuggets last year. This is a totally different type of tournament, yes, because this is a single elimination March Madness style rather than a series. But it basically shows when it comes down to one game, because by the end of the day, the 8 teams that were in this bracket style played the games like they mattered. You can't say that about every single team that played in the group stage. Played like every single game mattered, did the Nuggets really care about some of those games? You can look back and say no. Did the Clippers care?
Not really. These are regular season games, so they do care.
Yes, but to an extent, they're not treating it like it's not necessarily a playoff game, but more. A lot of teams didn't play like it was more than a regular season game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure, but you combine that with, this was just a good part of the, for the group setting, it was just a good part of the Lakers schedule, besides Phoenix. Phoenix is the only dangerous team there. Memphis is pretty easy. Portland's pretty easy. Utah's pretty easy. That group was really easy. So it's just in a schedule. So, Denver lost to the Pelicans in Houston. Yeah. Probably winnable game, so I don't really know what happened there. Yeah, the Pelicans ended up beating all of those teams. I know they lost to Houston, but beating Dallas is still pretty good. So it's not that it's these games do count. Sure, it's not playoff level, but it is these are straight up games that you just don't want to miss out on.
Yeah, and my thing about this is 4 games for group play, I feel like isn't enough. What I would really like to see is 8 games. Now, obviously, you'd have to push the tournament back to probably January, which would be more mid-season. But basically, you could make it so every Tuesday and Friday are those tournament games in November and December. And then I feel like we should have 16 teams and have it more than half the league makes it. That's 2 per group and then 2 wildcard spots. And then you have a single elimination tournament. But I know that just scheduling gets really hectic with that. And the NBA is not the best at scheduling, especially with how funky this in-season tournament was and talking in terms of fantasy-wise. But I think more games would have been nice, or even more teams. If they would have done 8 teams with 4 games, maybe a little bit more respectable.
Yeah, I don't have any problems with the tournament except what the winner gets. I wish the winner. I think they should tweak it that money's interesting, money's good, but at least give that team the tiebreaker over all teams in their conference. That would be interesting. That would be the global tiebreaker there.
Yeah, and that's something that you, me, and PT were talking about earlier this year to make these games mean something. So if you're not eliminated, for example, who was the team that wasn't eliminated until their last game, or second to last game? So I think the Nuggets. I think the Nuggets were basically eliminated by the time they played Houston. So they had no incentive to try to win that game other than it's just a regular season win. Um, I don't know. Four games is just so fast, and it's hard because look at this. So we had a 3-1 division winner, 4-0 division winner, the 3-1 wild card, a 4-0 division winner. We missed out on the Timberwolves, who has the best record in the NBA. Miss out on this in-season tournament
I mean,
because they lost one game.
The Sacramento Kings are a good team too, though.
Yes, I'm not discounting that, but I'm saying that like they lost one game in that in-season tournament, yet they had the best record in the league, and they kind of missed out. But what does that? Yeah, what does that winning team get? It was just like 500,000 per player, correct?
Yeah,
and
per player.
And was that basically it?
That's basically it. That's the only problem I had. That like I wish that if they did win, if the team that win got something that helped them like go for it in the playoffs or something, like just tiebreaker to like if they were to find a seeding tie, then they could just break the tie above all.
So basically they get a bonus win, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically.
And I feel like that's a very like that helps because here's the thing: how many times has there been? I mean, last year, for example, the Clippers, Lakers, and Warriors all had the same record, I believe, or pretty dang close to it. But let's say they all had the same record, and they were fighting for the 5, 6, and 7. If they all have the same record, but the Lakers have that bonus win, then it's not. They don't have the same record because they played technically 83 games and they have one more win. So like they would get in. So like yeah, I feel like that's a good incentive to have. So like it doesn't have to be like an asterisk, like you get the tiebreaker regardless, but no one can have the same record as you because you have that one bonus win. So if a team finishes 42-40, but you went 43-40, you're higher than them. Or I guess if you went 42-41, then that means that they still get ahead of you. Or actually, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I wish it was something like that because like there's only one way to get that extra win, and that's win the tournament. And I don't know why they didn't go that route. I think they wanted to isolate it away from the NBA playoffs and say it's its own thing. But I think depending on how this thing goes for the next couple of years, how the reception is, I think we'll see if they'll start to say forfeiting and saying, okay, this is a build up to the NBA playoffs instead of its own thing. I think they're trying to like make it its own thing. But I think if you're going to make it your own thing, you're going to have to do a little bit better than the 500,000 and the trophy. It's like, it's interesting, it's nice, but it's not as, like, I think people would rather win the playoffs.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're settling for the in-season tournament, and like I said in the preseason talk about this, it's like there's teams that can't win the championship this year or are not expecting to win it that were probably setting their eyes on this, like a team like I said the Houston Rockets or Oklahoma City Thunder
or the Indiana Pacers.
Indiana Pacers is a perfect example because like they didn't have championship aspirations, at least at the beginning of the season, but now like after making it to that championship, then maybe they're like, maybe we can make a slight playoff run. Like maybe we can win a series or maybe even try to sneak our way to the conference finals and build up. But there's teams that were probably looking at this NBA Cup and like, you know what? This is a good consolation. This is a good confidence builder, especially for like those young teams.
Yeah, I like this as a good confidence builder because like the Indiana Pacers, the Lakers are coming out of this tournament a lot more dangerous, it feels like. I think people are going to be a little worried about the Pacers from here on out and won't take them very lightly. the Lakers, I think, are going to start having a target on their back, in a more difficult way, instead of like a jokingly way with the Russell Westbrook trade. I think the Lakers. I think people are going to go into the Lakers knowing that they're not going to get any easy shots, based on what they saw. They saw Tyrese Halliburton had this kind of historical run, and then all of a sudden he meets the Lakers, and that's the end of that. And that's just because, you know, uh, you have Cam and you have Vanderbilt, who are both good enough to guard wings and are much larger than those said wings. And then you have Anthony Davis, who's arguably could be Player of the Year. And then LeBron can step up and play D when when he wants to. Um, and I guess your only weakness is the point guard of D'Angelo Russell defensively. But I mean, whoever you could just have him guard the weaker out of the two wings, or just don't play him at all. It's really up to you. So
Yeah.
like with Tyrese and the Indiana Pacers, what did they get out of this? Now they can be looked at as a team that needs a final piece. Previously, you didn't actually think that, oh, Indiana's a great landing spot, but now it's a little bit interesting. Like you could have like Zach LaVine go over to Indiana, or because Tyrese is going to set them up. You could probably see Paul George go back to Indiana if they wanted to go that route. He could.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see Paul George and Tyrese, and they could probably do some damage, especially if you have Miles Turner. Although Miles Turner has been slacking at like playing better defensive bigs, like better playing against better bigs and defending them well. I think that's a good team. So both of those teams come out pretty well. And then for the teams that lost, they did pick up the intensity, and I think they know exactly what they need to work on. So that's how I'm seeing everything.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of looking at some players that are free agents next year. You got Kawhi Leonard, PG, Pascal Siakam. Tyrese Maxey was there. Obviously LeBron. But he's going to be locked into wherever Bronny gets drafted to. James Harden potentially, Drew Holiday, OG Anunoby.
That's the thing about LeBron. Here's the thing. I think that's going to be pretty wild. Like, just a side segment. Like, is Bronny going to get drafted after 1 year, or is he going to take 2 years? And if he does get drafted in 1 year, are the Lakers going to make a run for him? Is LeBron going to be willing? Let's say the Lakers make a run. Is LeBron going to be willing to drop this team structure just to play with Bronny, or would he? You think so?
Oh yeah.
Let's say he has another shot at winning the championship with this team.
They could win the championship, go 16-0 in the playoffs, and even be the number one seed in the West. And I think he would throw it all away to be with Bronny. If the Lakers could not, because here's the thing, the only way that the Lakers can keep LeBron James is if they draft Bronny.
But if they win if they win the championship, let's say the Lakers win the championship, and if LeBron were to just leave and go wherever Bronny goes, now wherever LeBron goes, he's not going to be signing for a vet minimum. That's not LeBron. LeBron has never done that. LeBron is not going to sign. LeBron.
Didn't he say that he would? He would if he asked to.
No, he's one of the stingiest players. He never actually addresses it. He's one of the stingiest players in the league when it comes to money. So whoever that team is that's going to want to sign him better have a large contract available too. So maybe I could see LeBron leaving, but I think he would try to force the Lakers' hands to trade away for a pick that picks up Bronny. That's just my take on that. Either that, or the team that gets him can offer LeBron a contract. Now, there's two things I think that has to happen for LeBron to go to wherever Bronny goes, is that if he were to go, they'd still be competitive. So I don't think he goes like, let's say Bronny gets drafted by the Detroit Pistons. I don't think LeBron goes to the Detroit Pistons. It'd be fun to watch, but I don't think he does. Now, the worst team that LeBron can probably go to that has been making up a lot of hype is Atlanta. You could probably go to Atlanta. Why? Because you would have Trae Young and you'd have LeBron and you'd have I don't know if you'd still have DeJounte Murray at that point. Um, but that team could be interesting. But Bronny's probably not going to be playing that much. So you'd still need the core structure. So there's a lot for LeBron. It's not as simple as him going everywhere, but I'm kind of digressing a little bit farther out.
Yeah. So I do think that LeBron, regardless, is going to go wherever Bronny goes. But I like I said, you asked, would people even be willing to draft Bronny? Is he even going to be drafted? And I know that this is very like tabooish to say, and people don't really like when I say it. But if you're drafting Bronny, you know that you're going to get LeBron James. Well, I guess you don't know. Space. Here's the thing: you'll make cap space.
Yeah.
So I thought I read an article that he said that he'll take a vet's minimum. Not necessarily like if they can't make the cap work, like he'll take a pay cut to play with Bronny. I believe I saw an article like that. But here's the thing: if LeBron keeps playing the way that he is currently, why not do that? Because here's the thing: we know
take a vet minimum because here's the thing.
No. Okay. Why not draft Bronny to get LeBron? With how he's still playing.
You just got to be able to afford him.
That money's not going to be an issue. They'll half the teams in the league can afford LeBron right now.
At age 40, do you want to do that? There's specific teams that fit that mold that would want to do it.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is like, how many teams could be a LeBron James away from making it to the NBA Finals? Decent amount, right?
How many of those teams would be willing to carve out that cap space for LeBron?
Money's not going to be an issue, Geigh. Money's not going to be an issue.
Here's the thing. You can't offer someone who you expect to contribute, drop you 30 points a game, and put them on a vet minimum. It doesn't work like that because that's a lot of work. It's not easy putting 30 minutes a game. It's so much easier to just be a shooter, a corner spot-up shooter. Fine, I'll do that for – if LeBron signed for $5 million or whatever, you better bet that he's going to be a corner shooter. He's not going to be contributing to this offense because why is he going out there night after night killing himself for $5 million on payroll? He's not going to do that. That's not the type of caliber. That's not the type of caliber of LeBron you get for $5 million. You get what LeBron you're seeing right now if you're willing to open up that cap space. It's just psych. It's not a lot for a player to do. So if LeBron were to take a pay cut, short pay cut, you expect a decrease in LeBron's performance just because killing yourself for $5 million, it's a lot for someone who's 41 years old.
Yeah, but if he's playing with his son, here's the thing. Here's the article right here. Sportskeeda. Here's a quote. This was from the beginning of last season, November 8th of 2022. It's not about the money at that point. LeBron James is determined to do whatever it takes to play with son Bronny James in his final year. So he does not care about money.
When is his final year going to be?
It could be or it's not last year. It could be next year. Could be the year after.
Be next year.
But here's the thing. I mean, I think he's going to be playing. I mean, here's the thing. We have not seen LeBron do this. We haven't even seen LeBron do this. You know? He's not even trending in a step back. So when is LeBron's last year? Who knows? But at any point, the longer he plays, the more likely it's going to go this, then go like this, the longer he plays. So any year could be his last year. And it's not one of those things where you could just be like, you know, like this is my last year. The longer he plays, the more it's like, you know, I think last year was my last year rather than next year is my last year, if that makes sense.
I think there's a lot up in the air that, he said last year, which makes sense. But if next year isn't your last year, and you can get yourself a sizable contract and maybe just get traded over or get Bronny to join you on board. There's so many, like, it's not as easy as 1+1=2 because teams
He'd
have a
rather
lot they're risking. They're risking LeBron's word. How many times has LeBron gone back on his word? Do we remember what happened during, the decision? Do we remember what he said to the Cavaliers? He went back
what do you
on his
say?
word. What? He said he was gonna stay. He said he was gonna stay, and then he switched up and went to the Miami Heat instead. After they were building around him and doing all this stuff, that he just went ahead and left anyways.
But here's the thing: there's one person that can stop this from happening, and it's another quote from LeBron James. He said, "Just because it's my goal to play with Bronny, doesn't mean it's his. If Bronny does not want to play with his dad, because here's the thing, and I know, this is kind of like really weird to say because it'd be the first time it's ever been done in the NBA. It's happened a few times, I think, in the MLB, but I don't think Bronny wants to be shadowed by his dad's spotlight. And would he? Maybe. It depends on how good Bronny is too.
I think Bronny should. I think, there's that idea that Bronny should be playing alone for a bit, and then when he's established, he can play with LeBron.
But here's the thing: we don't know when his last year is. That's the thing. We just because it'd be better to say that we tried rather than have the regret that we didn't because we couldn't.
After all this discussion, and this is good discussion. After this, you're gonna have to put like a slash of like IC. Like, would you like a little bit of in-season tournament talk with your LeBron talker?
Yeah. Here's some LeBron talk with the in-season tournament
as an opener.
Yeah. But yeah. So yeah, no, LeBron, I wholeheartedly believe that he's gonna do whatever he can to play with Bronny.
He will.
Now, obviously, here's the thing. I don't think he's just willing to take a vet's minimum. Like, if they could get rid of some contracts to get something going, like, if you have, I don't know. So, what team did you just say? The Atlanta Hawks?
Atlanta Hawks. They got the room. They might be a contender if he goes. That's probably where he would land.
Okay. So let's see. Let's look at their contracts. How much do they have for 149 salary cap? Okay. So here's the thing. If Clint Capella was still on the team going into next season, which I think we both agree that he probably won't be,
no.
But if he was still there, you could probably ship that contract off to some team.
Yeah.
And then they'll either cut him or whatever. So let's say, because like right now they're over the salary cap, so they'll be into the luxury tax. But like LeBron would be signing for like right now, like I think 17-ish million, maybe a little bit more. But if you get rid of Clint Capella's, now that makes that like more like a 39, which is almost his max. I mean, I guess not almost, but like it's closer. Like, here's the thing: would LeBron play for the Hawks for 17 million to play with Bronny? Probably. But would he play for 39? That probably is now indefinitely.
Yeah.
And like some other teams, like, here's the thing: it's hard to imagine LeBron leaving LA to go play for Detroit, but if it's to play with his son, like, here's the thing: it's destination and money is going to be a factor. Like, if it's vet minimum for Detroit, that's a really tough ask, but I do think that he would take it just to play with Bronny.
But he's only playing like 10 minutes a game for a vet minimum.
Oh yeah,
that's just how it is.
He'll play like 6 minutes a quarter. He'll play 24 minutes a game. He's not, but as long as those 24 minutes is with his son, I don't think he cares.
And then even then, do you want to? Does he?
And what else does he have to prove? Does he have to play 36 minutes a game now? He's 40.
But if he's given a chance to win another championship, that's tough.
Here's the thing: is he really chasing that Jordan conversation anymore? Because he's the all-time leading scorer.
He definitely is. You can see it. He definitely is. Four rings. That's not going to cut it.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Okay,
He's
Kobe.
He's going to play with his son, and I think he'd rather take that than being the GOAT. Because here's the thing. People are always going to compare you to Michael regardless. People can't say that you didn't play with your son.
Okay, but here's the thing. You can strive for a championship as long as you feel like you're capable. But the second you don't feel like you're capable, anyone in the league will sign LeBron for a vet minimum. Even if he's 48 years old, I'm signing LeBron to a vet minimum. Easy. Would you not? LeBron, 48 years old, I'm still signing LeBron to a vet minimum. 50? Maybe, just to see. Like, maybe a two-way or something. But I'm still giving I'm still getting him on the payroll. So that's the thing. Like, if you think you can win a championship with Bronny, go right ahead. If you think you have, what you like what's going on here, then stay, because it's not your last season. But your last season, once you hit your decline, any team will still take you. Just not for the max, but any team will take you.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then even then, do you still want to make that promise and watch Bronny's draft stock be dictated by you?
I mean, that's putting more money in his pocket. Because here's the thing: if you come out the week of the draft and you officially say, like, Bronny and I have talked, I'm going to go play with Bronny wherever he goes. His draft stock just went up to at least 10 picks. Like now people are flustered to draft up so they can go and get Bronny if he's not the number 1 overall pick, which I don't think he is. I still think he's like that middle first round, but
yeah, you got to have a good pick, and you got to think you're a LeBron James away. And there's only a few teams I can think of that can be able to pull that off.
Well, and here's the thing: is like
OKC would be crazy.
What's like the realistically, like, without looking at the draft class, the upcoming draft class, if LeBron said that the week of the draft, like, what's the lowest Bronny could fall? If LeBron says and LeBron's playing how he's playing currently, like no decline whatsoever. Like
9 or 8.
I was gonna say I don't think he could fall out of the top 10.
How many
teams in this last draft in the top 10? Let's see. 2023. How many teams would you say is a LeBron James away from? What the heck is this? Oh, here we go.
Do they have a mock draft? I mean, like, they don't really, like, do they have a mock idea based on their standings right now? Like Detroit?
I'm just comparing from last year. So how many teams is a LeBron James away from winning the championship this year?
Suppose he was drafted here?
Suppose he was drafted in this draft. Like, I don't think you take him over Wemby. No. Because here's the thing. You're rebuilding, and I think Brandon Miller is, higher stock. We've only seen Bronny play 1 college game, so like this is strictly speculation too. You probably still take Scoot.
He would go 6 or 7.
6 or 7. And here's the thing: we were just talking about the Pacers earlier today. Like, you could maybe take the Pacers over Bilal, which I know you still don't like that pick.
Actually, even more. I still don't like that pick, but even crazier: 6, 7, or 10.
6, 7, or 10 would have been good landing spots.
A good landing spot. That would have been one of the greatest landing spots of all time.
Yeah, if he fell to the Mavericks. But here's the thing: is like, if this was based on this, like, if the Mavericks find themselves in that position again, here I'll look to see if there's a mock.
I don't know if they will, but they could still trade up.
Yeah, any team is going to be willing to trade up. Like, here's the thing: there's probably people like that'd be willing to give up their first round pick from last year up to trade up. Like, if the Charlotte Hornets felt like they were LeBron James away, goodbye Brandon Miller, goodbye Miles Bridges. Like, we're shipping house.
It's so risky at 40 years old. Well, basically 41. And his play style, like is so explosive compared to Steph Curry and KD. I think KD and Steph will be okay at like 40.
Yeah.
Pelicans.
Right now, and here's the thing: the cardiac arrest that Bronny had really kind of put a damper on things on his draft stock. But now that he's played, I think he could climb back up. But I don't even know.
This is a mock draft for what people think where he's going to get drafted.
Yep. The Thunder
46
at 46. So here's the thing. He definitely becomes a first round pick if LeBron says, "Yeah, I'm playing with Bronny."
That's the thing. People are iffy, but if the Lakers just draft Bronny, which I think they could, if they
then this whole talk was for nothing, because
then the whole talk was for nothing. Then he gets to go to. I mean, that's what Bronny's going to want to go. I guarantee you, Bronny's going to be selective with his workouts. I mean, Bronny's going to USC already, so why not just do what Austin? You know what Austin? You remember what Austin Reeves did?
What did he do?
He said he didn't. I think he pulled out of the draft because he did not want to be drafted. But he went behind all the other teams' backs, did one workout with the Lakers, and said, "I want to go here, so I'm going to pull out the draft." And they basically, pinky promised. And then after the draft, Austin Reeves just signs with the Lakers. So risky. So risky on both ends. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Check Austin Reeves. Check. He was undrafted for this reason. It was such a sketch, but no one really cared. It was collusion. Basically, that's what it was. It was collusion.
I expect that from the Lakers, low key.
Yeah.
Second season? Yeah. I guess. Oh, everything's buffering. Oh well, I'll take your word for it.
Check his wiki and see what when it says his draft. Just check the wiki.
You can't trust everything on Wikipedia, Geigh.
I mean, I'm speaking it. If Wiki's speaking it, what does it say?
He went undrafted.
He went behind every other team's back and told the Lakers, "I'm gonna sign with you guys. Just give me the call."
No, he got selected in the 42nd, but he declined to sign. He said, "Yeah, I'm not playing for you, buddy.
I'm not going. Send them to Detroit."
Yeah, no. No, I don't think I will.
Basically.
And then he signs a few months later with the Lakers.
Dirtiest move. Man's a collusion. That's collusion.
That's funny.
Can you do that? Should that be
you can decline. Yeah, you can decline to sign.
But then come back as a different team?
Yeah. Because then then you're a free agent.
That seems sketch.
Well, it is.
So if Victor said, "Nah, I'm not team number one," and then he just signs with whoever.
Yeah, that's why you have all these conversations with everyone you're interested in drafting. And one of your questions is, are you willing to play for us? And if they say, "Yeah, I'm willing to play for you," and then they draft you, then you're going back on your word. But Austin Reeves either one said, "I don't want to play for you," and they still drafted him, or they didn't even talk to Austin Reeves and were like, "We like that kid. We didn't talk to him. Let's draft him." And then Austin Reeves is like, "I don't want to play for you." Regardless, Austin Reeves said he didn't.
So what's stopping Bronny from doing this?
Okay. That's a good point there, Geigh. That's collusion to keep LeBron on the Lakers right there.
Super collusion. Adam Silver needs to stop this. He can't get away. He can't keep getting away with this. LeBron, okay. You know what's even worse? Guess who was at Austin Reeves' high school games? Guess. All right. Guess who watched Austin Reeves in the NCAA? Guess.
Who?
LeBron James. Okay. He can't keep getting away with this, Sam.
Let's put on our tinfoil hats here.
Not even tinfoil. He watched his games. Sam. You can't.
Okay. Well, we'll see. If Bronny declines just to sign with the Lakers, you heard it here first. December 11th of 2023.
Something fishy is going to happen with that draft. It's not going to be clean. I'm sorry, OKC.
Ooh. well, how about this? Get spicy. So we were just talking about how Bronny doesn't fall out of the top 10. Someone reaches at like 2 or 3. So Bronny gets like a multi-million-dollar deal, 4-year deal, whatever those rookies sign, just so he declines it so he can sign a bigger contract and stay in LA.
Or
so basically they just wasted their number 2 overall pick. Or number 3.
Yeah, Adam Silver would have to stop that. Because he doesn't really need money because LeBron could probably spot him.
Still. But here's the thing. He's got 1, maybe 2 years with his dad. Then he's got to make money on his own. You know, that first contract is because of your dad. Everything from there on out, it's all on you.
Why do we think this is a big game of exploiting, like just exploiting the system?
That's just to make good talk.
Okay, well, how about we just say Bronny's a good person? How about that? He's a good person.
Sure. He went to USC. But anyways, I'm sorry to everyone who tuned in thinking that they were going to listen to a 37-minute podcast of the in-season tournament that just slowly turned into just Bronny talk. But is there anything else you need to add?
No, anything you need to add about the in-season? Say something nice about the in-season tournament.
It didn't fall short of my expectations, but my expectations were still low. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
That's
it. It didn't fall short of the expectations.
Sorry, that was a backhanded compliment. Yeah, it didn't fall short.
Okay.
Actually, wait, It didn't fall as short as I was expecting. There you go. Say something nice about the in-season tournament.
I really like the atmosphere. Did you notice that they had the crowd dark the entire time? Like sitting in darkness.
That's how games should be.
It's interesting. You know, like the players,
I think it's interesting to you because you watch all the Laker games and they have to have the lights on because all these celebrities are here all the time. I mean, how many times are you watching a Lakers game and you're like, oh my God, there's Nicolas Cage or Rihanna?
Normally it's dark for it's dark for halftime shows, but this was dark the entirety. You could not see the crowd at all. It was just pure darkness around. You would think they were shining a single spotlight around the court.
And that's how it should be. That's how games should be.
That's a cool atmosphere. I think they pulled that off.
One thing that I did not like about it, though, is the goofy floors that they did.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of some of those.
No.
Some looked good, some looked really bad. And if you're gonna wear your city edition jerseys, don't make the floor the same color as your jerseys. They just don't look good.
I wanted them to make the court some super black and gold kind of looking thing, for the champion, but they ended up sticking with red and blue, which I know it's NBA, but it just doesn't look good on anything besides the NBA logo. That's the only time I've ever seen red and blue look good together on the NBA logo.
Oh wow, that was very unpatriotic.
Oh, I mean, in style.
No. I know what you meant. Okay,
I know what you meant loud and clear.
Found my soundbite.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, once again, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Momentum MVP. Follow our Facebook page at MVP Momentum Podcast, and check us out on YouTube at MVP Momentum Podcast. I've been Sam Holcroft.
Geigh Zollikofer. Thanks for listening. I was waiting for Peyton.
Oh yeah, he's not.
Yeah. Paul?